Nexius, accelerating network and business transformation.
Telecom Careers, the #1 global telecom and wireless job board. telecomcareers.com.
This is Jeff Mucci with RCR Wireless News, and today we have Stacie Curtis joining us on RCR TV. Stacie, thanks for being here.
Jeff, thank you for having me today.
Well, you're CEO and founder of CW Solutions, a New Jersey real estate services company, and it's been a couple years since we really talked, so I'm anxious to get caught up. I've been getting a lot of your press releases about expansion. So I'd like to really start out by hearing your thoughts on what's driving CW's hiring growth over the past 12 to 18 months.
Sure. Well, we did, Jeff. We decided back in 2008 when we had a decline in the economy and wireless really stopped with their budgets as far as spending for new site development. We decided to diversify our client base and we started getting involved in the utility sector. Real estate is real estate. A lease is a lease. A purchase is a purchase. It's a different dictionary of terms. So that's what we did to expand CW, is by diversifying our client base.
Got it. What types of people have you been hiring?
Mostly right-of-way agents and title agents. We also added on a title division to CW because it goes hand in hand with what we're doing with acquiring easements. So we actually hired a whole title division, and 4 of our employees actually have their New Jersey title producer's license.
Got it. And I noticed you hired a GIS manager. Why did you move into the GIS business?
Well, we hired a GIS manager because it helps us with our large linear project when they're in the stages of development.
What does that mean when you say a linear project?
When you're doing a large 20, 30 mile linear project, you need to be able to overlay any of the jurisdictions the county might have or the state might have on there, farmland preserved, SHPO, green acres. You need to be able to do your route as it's going along the properties and try to stay within the public right of way. It helps you decide where you can and can't go. And then if you do have to go on to any type of privately owned property, whether residential or commercial, it really helps you detail where the route should be going to avoid certain specific areas to make the project seamless and hopefully save time in the end.
Well, I know you say a right-of-way is a right-of-way and an easement's an easement, but maybe you could share some insights comparing and contrasting the telecom industry versus oil and gas, utility, and railroads, some of the other verticals you've expanded into.
Sure. With wireless telecommunications facilities, you're usually leasing rooftop space or space on the ground and possibly an array of antennas on a water tank, for example, or ground space and then space on a monopole. So that's vertical, and it's usually a small space. With these large linear projects, you're leasing space anywhere from 20 to 30 miles if you're not within the public right of way. And all the details of how much property is acquired is based on the design that the engineer provides.
Got it. Now,
underground or overhead utilities.
Do you provide any engineering services as well?
No, we do not. We're not engineers.
Okay. And then I know you're based in New Jersey. Tell us about your geographic reach today.
Our geographic reach, we provide title services nationwide, and right now we're concentrated in the tri-state area for right-of-way acquisition.
Well, the last couple of years, we've been talking a lot about DAS and HetNet and in-building wireless, and we've been talking about small cell for a long time. It seems like small cell is starting to percolate. How has small cell and HetNet and DAS impacted your business?
Small cell has actually been doing a lot of small cell acquisition for wireless carriers in the area, and it's not easier. You're still acquiring a lease for a certain amount of space and a certain amount of antennas, so it could be just as difficult as a full macro site.
Well, how are the utilities in terms of starting to understand the economic impact on the community of having a robust wireless infrastructure?
They rely on it. They rely on it, especially in any type of emergency situation, and their communications are 24/7. Everybody's on their smartphones, and they rely on seamless coverage in order to get projects done on time within budget, to be able to communicate in any type of emergency situations, whether it be personal, family, statewide.
Got it. Well, you've been very active in women-owned business initiatives. Can you talk a little bit about, or maybe give some advice to women who are interested in pursuing a career in wireless infrastructure or in infrastructure in general?
Sure. I was actually certified by the WBENC, which is a nationwide certification. They work in conjunction with the SBA as well, so you can actually become woman-owned small business certified as well through them. And what it's done is it opened up a lot of opportunities for me, because once I was certified by the WBENC, I have a national certification as a woman-owned business. And it opened up the doors for me to join the Women's Presidents Organization. And it's almost like my little personal board of advisors where we get together every month. We have our chapter. And right now I'm in chapter 5 of Somerset, and we get together, and a whole half of the portion of the meeting is an educational session on whatever the board would like to see be educated on. They have their option at the end of each year to put in some topics they'd like to have.
So Stacie, what are some of the challenges you've had growing your company, or hurdles you've had to overcome?
One of the challenges that we've had in the beginning as a small company that's growing as fast as we did was being really able to have that niche to hire good talent. And I think, you learn from experience. And I think over the past 4 or 5 years, we finally have that down. And I think the second biggest hurdle that we had was access to capital. And, by going to various associations and attending the WBENC, the WPO meetings, I was able to, cultivate a very good relationship with a small bank here local in New Jersey, where we're able to get the funding that we needed for access to capital.
That's great. Well, tell us about what types of recruiting techniques are using today that appear to be most successful. Where are you finding the good people?
We're finding good people from our associations, doing really good, strong background checks, referrals as well. And we actually do 3 sets of interviews.
Stacie, how's the WBENC certification helped you grow your business?
The WBENC certification has helped me grow my business by allowing me to network with other women, providing educational platforms that we can attend. They also, there's a WPO, which I got involved with, which I probably would never known about unless I actually was certified by the WBENC. And it's a monthly meeting in your state for your chapter, and you get together. And there's a whole educational portion of it. The first half of the meeting is anything that the board would like to see be educated on, and the second half is a closed door session where you can discuss any current situations, issues, problems with your business, personally, advice, and you learn a lot. And really has helped me a lot by, I call them my WPO sisters, or my WBENC sisters. They really support you 110% unconditionally, and they all believe in the same thing that you do, a passion of giving back to the community, mentoring other women, whether they be from college and looking to become entrepreneurs, or entrepreneurs that might need some advice to grow their business. So they all stick together, and we help each other out unconditionally.
So in terms of advice you'd give other women or aspiring professionals, get involved. Would that be a safe
Get certified
advice?
Bank, and they're the largest third-party certifier also for women-owned small businesses, which is a federal certification. It's called a WOSB, and it'll really help them open up doors to networking with other women, getting advice, being educated, anything that you might need to succeed.
Well, you started CW in 2002. What would you say has been your greatest accomplishment? And then I'm going to ask you, what's been your greatest challenge?
I think our greatest accomplishment was expanding our business outside of the wireless telecommunications industry.
And what did you do? I mean, what were some of the challenges or hurdles you faced doing that?
I really have to say, I think the biggest challenges was learning just a whole different dictionary of terms.
Landman, for example?
Right away, there's all different, all the way from landman to right-of-way agents. It depends on whether you're doing oil, gas, pipeline, or if you're involved in electric transmission projects.
How about securing the contracts with those other verticals? How difficult was it for you to represent yourself, let them know what you do, how you do it, and then actually get the contracts?
It's a very tough bidding process. It sometimes takes 2 or 3 months to actually respond to a bid. And then from that point forward, it could be anywhere from 3 to 6 months till it's awarded.
Got it. Well, let's close by talking about 2 things. I know you're passionate about the New Jersey State Wireless Association and then Women in Wireless. It's been a couple of years since I went to your holiday party, but what do you have on the agenda for the year-end holiday program?
Well, the New Jersey Wireless had their holiday party back the week before Thanksgiving, and it was a well-attended event. It was probably one of the largest ones in the past couple of years, so it just goes to show the economy is probably doing a little bit better. And we just had our company Christmas party last Friday, and looking forward to closing out the year with some family and some good friends.
Got it. Now, how many employees are you up to now? You talked about
18.
18 employees. Well, thank you so much for your time. I got to ask you one final question, Stacie. What's your big prediction for 2016?
Our biggest prediction is to bring on some additional services, which I can't discuss at the moment. So we're looking at doing some value adds for the company and getting involved in more federal contract projects.
Got it. Well, Stacie, thank you so much for your time. You have a great weekend.
Thanks, Jeff. You too.